so we're going to officially open up our forum. It is now, I think I have 6:02 or 3. And I want to welcome everyone to our Eat Well Cooking Club, our April series. This is our second quarterly Eat Well Cooking Club with our partner, Stonebridge Community Outreach Initiative. And I want to just welcome everyone officially. I'm Dale Cain. I'll be today's facilitator. Just wanted to tell you a little bit about myself because we do have some new people on has joined our community. I'm a director of Advocates of Community Wellness, which is a nonprofit health promotion and nutrition education community organization. We're also faith-based as well. I am a professional nutrition specialist. I'm also a certified plant-based nutrition movement cooking coach. I have completed additional courses in nutrition for plant-based nutrition program from the T. Collins Campbell Center for Nutrition Studies. I have over 18 years of work experience in health promotion and disease prevention sectors, coordinating wellness and culinary programs throughout the city. And I'm also the former Illinois State Cookie Matter program, which is a national nutrition education program for children and families. Today, this particular series is brought to you by a collaboration of two partners, Advocates for Community Wellness and Stonebridge Healthy Community Outreach Initiative. Myself, Dale Cain, the founder and director. I mentioned to you that we are a 501c3 nonprofit. We were founded in 2003. We are a faith-based, non-denominational, holistic health promotion ministry without walls. And when I say holistic, we strongly believe in that we are a three-part being: spiritual, physical, mental, emotional, and each one of those components have an impact on our health. Our guiding principle is promoting health and nutrition education and awareness program on the relationship between diet, health, and chronic disease. And then we have our Stonebridge partner. The founder is Ollie Smith, and she's also the CEO. Their organization is also a nonprofit. It's a 501c3, and it was founded in 2008. It's formerly known as Stonebridge Diabetes Support Group. Their guiding principle is to bring awareness, prevention, and restoration of long life health solutions for diabetes and other chronic conditions to families in the community. Our mission of this collaborative effort is to improving eating habits for healthier lifestyle and increase longevity. We have three goals: to increase consumption of vegetables, fruits, and whole grains, to encourage a more nutrient-rich diet plan for better health, and to reduce risk factors of chronic diseases and illnesses. And our third goal is to attain a healthier weight through consumptions of plant-based nutrition. Our presenters today are Karen Bryce with Keystone's Education Center, and then we have Chef M, Millicent Walker from Stonebridge Healthy Community Initiative, and also she's the owner of Cooking Canvas. Karen, would you like to share a little bit about yourself?
Yes, hello everybody. My name is Karen Carruthers Bryce, and I'm a nutritionist, and I've been doing nutrition work for over 20 years. And I went to Valparaiso University and obtained a degree in nutrition. And then I also have a master's in education. And currently, I've been working with various communities through Head Start and childcare to do the nutrition programs for the families, the children, and the agencies to make sure that they're compliant with the State Board of Illinois Education nutrition guidelines. And I also teach food safety sanitation classes and CPR and first aid, and do nutrition workshops and food demonstrations. And so it's been wonderful to be working with Dale on this project. And Dale and I also worked with Cooking Matters when Dale was over that, and that was a lot of fun. And so it's great to be back and to be a part of this series. So nice meeting everybody. Thank you.
Okay, and we have our chef, Millicent Walker.
Hello, everyone. I am Millicent Walker, affectionately known as Chef M. I am a professional chef. I went to the Cordon Bleu in Chicago, Illinois, where I studied culinary arts. I also have a wide variety and set of skills. I've been cooking most of my life, as I would imagine most people have. I am always interested in feeding people good, nutritious food, freshly made, as opposed to something that they pick up and heat up out of the freezer. And I just like to show people how easy and how quickly things can be done, even though you do it from scratch. I also am a volunteer member with Stonebridge Healthy Community Outreach Initiative. I serve as their executive administrator, and I look forward to presenting this menu to you guys this evening. Welcome.
Okay, and so each series, this is our fourth one, actually our fifth, because we advocates, we started this healthy cooking series in December. And so each month we have a theme. And so this month for health observance is the National Minority Health Awareness Month. And I always say that we know what the problem is, with through the stats dealing with chronic diseases. But what we like to focus on is what we can do to prevent it, what we can do to restore our health, and what we can do to impact our future generations, our children and our children's children. So this focus on nutrition, so we do health and nutrition. We're focusing on supercharging your immune system with nutrition.
So I'm Karen, and thank you guys for joining us at this new time. And we're going to talk about our learning objectives for the nutrition part of boosting the immune system. So some of the learning objectives we would like for you to learn is top foods to boost the immune, anti-inflammatory foods, and then also reading nutrition labels, which is very important. So our immune system. Our immune system is a beautiful thing and it does a lot of great things for us. The immune system is the body's defense against infection. That's why we want to try to eat immune boosting foods to prevent infection. The major function of the immune system is to protect the host from environmental agents such as microbes or chemicals. And we hear the term a lot about free radicals, thereby preserving the integrity of your body. This is done by the recognition of self and the response to non-self. So when your immune system and your body recognizes things that are acceptable, they pass through. When things are unacceptable, like disease, they will attack it to try to get rid of it, to keep you healthy and fight for your defense. And also, our immune system uses several tools to fight infection. Blood contains red cells, which carry oxygen to tissues and organs, and the white or immune cells, which fight infection. Different types of white blood cells fight infection in different ways. And you have the macrophages, which are the white blood cells that swallow up and digest germs, and dead or dying cells. That's to also keep us very healthy. So here's the number one immune boosting foods. And I just actually ate an orange while Dale was talking. So the citrus, the citrus foods, most people turn straight to vitamin C after they've caught a cold. That's because it helps fight our immune system. Vitamin C is thought to increase the production of white blood cells, which are key to fighting infections. And we just heard about that. Almost all citrus fruits are high in vitamin C. So that's pineapples, oranges, lemons, limes, with such a variety to choose from. It's easy to add a squeeze of this vitamin to any meal. So the popular citrus include grapefruit, oranges, clementines, tangerines, lemons, and limes, and then the other ones I just mentioned as well. Because your body doesn't produce or store it, you need daily vitamin C for continued health. The recommended daily amount for most adults is 75 milligrams for women and 90 milligrams for men. So literally we urinate vitamin C out every day. So that's why you want to put it into your body every day. It's considered a water soluble vitamin. Immune boosting food number 2, red bell peppers. If you think citrus foods have the most vitamin C of any fruit or vegetable, think again. Ounce for ounce, that red bell pepper contains almost 3 times as much vitamin C, about 127 milligrams versus a Florida orange, which is 45 milligrams. They're also a rich source of beta carotene. Besides boosting your immune system, vitamin C may help you maintain healthy skin, and beta carotene, which your body converts into vitamin A, helps keep your eyes and skin healthy. That's the bell pepper. Number 3 is broccoli. Broccoli is a supercharged food and it's packed with vitamins and minerals. The vitamins A, C, and E, as well as fiber and many other antioxidants that fight those free radicals. Broccoli is one of the healthiest vegetables you can put on your plate. And the key to keeping its power intact and steaming is the best way to keep more nutrients in the food. So not cooking it to death, but steaming it lightly. Or some people eat it raw with dip, which is a nice snack. Number 4, the next powerful immune boosting food is garlic. Garlic is found in almost every cuisine in the world. It adds a little zing to food and it's a must have for your health. Early civilizations recognized its value in fighting infections. And garlic may also slow down hardening of the arteries. Garlic's immune boosting properties seem to come from the heavy concentration of a sulfur containing compound such as allicin. So that is garlic, and it's extremely potent and powerful. And then boosting food number 5 for the immune system is ginger. This is another ingredient which you might turn to after getting sick. Ginger may help decrease inflammation, which can help reduce a sore throat and an inflammatory illness. Ginger may also help with nausea as well. And that's sometimes why people will drink a ginger ale. While it's used in many sweet desserts, ginger packs some heat in the form of gingerol, which is relative to a capsaicin. Ginger may also decrease chronic pain and might even possess cholesterol lowering properties. So these are the top 5. And after the food demonstration, I believe we're going to do the last 5.
Okay, our next segment is Cooking with Chef M. In our program, we have 3-part series. We usually feature a breakfast from session 1, session 2, a lunch, and session 3, a dinner. But this time, we decided to mix it up a little bit. And so Chef M wanted to show off some of her culinary skills about sharing. It's good, some delicious, tasty, and more healthier desserts. And so I'm really excited about that. That's one of the things that people usually ask when I'm on forums about health and nutrition is like, what can we eat that's sweet? And so Chef M is going to share that with us in the 3rd segment. Okay. And so Chef M, this is our breakfast menu that she has selected for us. And our whole theme around Eating Well Cooking Club is that we want to expose you to thinking out the box. We have a tendency to eat the same things over and over throughout our life. And so we're starting off when you're looking for something different, like for breakfast, that we can help with that. If you're looking something a little bit more exciting and adventurous for dinner or lunch, we can help with that through our cooking program. And so today she's going to be walking us through the sweet potato pancakes, lentil fritters. I'm really anxious to see that. And kale salad. That's one of my favorites. And bliss smoothie. Okay.
So
Okay.
yes, as Dale said, we are switching things up just a little bit for this 3-part session because I can't speak for anybody else, but I know I like sweets. And that is always the hardest part of any lifestyle change is, okay, well, what am I going to eat now that's sweet? So for our 3rd session, yes, I definitely want to show you guys some great sweet things that you can use as alternatives to still feed that sweet craving, because we still have it regardless of whether we want to only eat healthy or not. We still need and still want that sugar. But for today's menu, we have our sweet potato pancakes, our kale salad, our lentil fritters, and then also a nice smoothie. Smoothies are always nice and they're usually very quick. So that'll be the last thing that we do. So to start off, we're going to get started making our sweet potato pancakes. So for our sweet potato pancakes, I'm kind of seeing myself and I'm kind of seeing that you guys can't see everything I'm doing. What I did was I just baked the sweet potato because sweet potatoes are easier to mash when they're a little bit softer. Plus, that brings some of the sweetness out of it. It's not necessary, but it just helps me in my process. And like I said, it brings some of that sweet flavor out of the sweet potato. So I just put it in the oven, 425 for probably about an hour. But at the same time, I had a very large sweet potato. So if you use a smaller one, you definitely can cut down on the cook time. And I only want a quarter cup plus like 2 tablespoons. So I don't really need a huge sweet potato. So I'm gonna let that cool off a little bit. And then just like with any other pancake batter, I want to mix my wet ingredients, mix my dry ingredients. So because this one does not have an egg, I'm using ground flaxseed and water to make my egg replacement. So I'm just gonna mix my ground flaxseed. It's 2 tablespoons of ground flaxseed and 4 tablespoons of water. I'm just gonna mix that together real quick and this will make my egg replacer. So egg is good to help. I don't want to. Well, yeah, like leaven. It helps bring that rise that you want to see in a pancake. You know, pancakes, even though they're pancakes, we don't want them flat cakes. Even though that is one of the names of them. We don't want flat jacks. We just want, flapjack. All right, so while that's coming together, I also want to mix together, I have some brown sugar. You can definitely use coconut sugar or stevia or any other sugar that you prefer. I'm mixing together my brown sugar. I have some nutmeg and cinnamon. And nutmeg and cinnamon just really mix together well with to bring out those flavors in the sweet potato. But cinnamon also has good properties for your blood. So anytime you can add some cinnamon, that's good. I know it definitely helps with blood sugar as well. And then I also have, some of you that have seen me before, we know we have that 3-part that we need for any of our baking things, right? So we need baking soda, baking powder, and a little bit of salt. Like that's like the chemistry of it just has to blend all together to get that nice poof that we want. So I'm gonna add those things together. So like I said, I'm gonna do all my dry ingredients. And then I also have, this time I'm using smelt flour instead of oat flour. And these recipes that I'm doing this time are from, I believe it's called the African American Vegan Starter Kit. This is where I got all of these recipes, but I sourced them all out for you all in the recipe booklet as well. So we'll mix together all of our dry ingredients. And just so that we have it nice and mixed up together. So I want to see all of that stuff that I just put in there. I want to see all of that blended together. So can you guys see the cinnamon is still kind of not mixed in? I want it to kind of be all homogeneous. I think it's been a long day for everyone. All right. Then I want to mix together my, you can use soy milk or any non-dairy based milk. I use oat milk. That's just the preference in my house. I have a teaspoon of apple cider vinegar and a teaspoon, actually I have 2 teaspoons of vanilla, but I like the flavor of vanilla. So I gave it just a little bit extra. And then I also have 2 tablespoons of oil. And in there, I'm going to mix this up with my mashed sweet potato. So I'm gonna mash this up a little bit. And you guys see, I have a masher, but I don't have to use my masher. I'm using a spoon. And I think, like I told you guys before, I'm definitely wanting to show you if there's a way to work around it, I'm gonna work around it. And this potato could have cooked for a little bit longer, but I'm just gonna mash it up.
Chef, this is Karen. I just wanted to know, have you ever used beet sugar before?
I have not used beet sugar before, but I have heard of it.
Yeah. Okay.
Well, actually, maybe I have, because I know one of the grocers that I go to, when I look at my receipt, it says beet sugar. So I don't,
Okay.
can you tell me if there is like any real noticeable difference?
It's not as sweet, but I do like it as a sugar replacement. But I want to try the coconut sugar that you mentioned.
Yeah.
Hmm.
And now I just use, for this recipe, I just use brown sugar. But in my household, we have nut allergies. So I can't always use the nut products that I would like to. So we'll just put this.
Chef M, I notice you're using the entire sweet potato, correct? With the
I use
skin on?
everything that I cut off. So
Yeah.
this is my whole sweet potato.
Mhm.
And what I took out was the equivalent of a quarter cup plus 2 tablespoons.
Okay, and what I was asking is about the skin of the sweet potato. Did you use that or
I
did you?
did not. I took that off,
Okay,
but I don't particularly care for the taste of it. But
okay,
you
I
can
was just
definitely,
wondering. I may have blinked, but
I may
mhm.
have taken it off before I started too.
Okay,
And then we'll just mix these together. So this was all of my wet into my dry. I forgot part of my wet.
and I guess I'm saying too is that like if you have an extra large potato like you have, that you can use that sweet potato for another meal
Yeah,
and
absolutely.
mhm, and
Or
eat
to make
the
something else.
skin, yeah, and eat the skin of it, which has the extra fiber.
Yeah, that's what I thought. I thought you could eat the sweet potato skin. It's just
Oh
not one of
yes,
those.
yes.
But I mean, you can eat potato skin, so why can't you eat sweet potato skin?
Mm-hmm.
Potatoes are healthier for you anyway.
Yes.
And so we'll just blend this all together. And we want it all mixed. We want to blend it just until it's all combined. Just like I don't know how many of you make pancakes from scratch normally, but or even I think even the box pancakes say just mix until combined. I'm definitely not trying to throw shade. I just don't really know.
Mm.
I get into that conversation a lot because I do make things from scratch, but I'm never trying to throw shade. We all have to work with the skill sets that we are most comfortable.
Mm-hmm. And we start where we are.
Yes,
We start
absolutely.
where we are. Mm-hmm.
And I'm gonna let this sit for just a few minutes.
So if you're using a
just
box,
to give it a second to rest, and I also want to heat up my skillet. Before I heat my skillet up though, I want to, sorry, my hands were over.
While you're doing that, can you tell us a little bit why you chose the spelt flour and versus any other flour?
Versus any other flour. Well,
Mhm.
in all honesty, in this particular instance, that is what this particular recipe called for.
Okay.
My preference is oat flour,
Mm-hmm.
but I'd never worked with smelt flour, so I wanted to see how it
Okay.
worked out and how the flavor profile came together. I assumed that they put the smelt flour in because they liked the way that the flavor profile went.
Mm-hmm.
So once it's cooked, I'm gonna let you guys know.
Okay. And
All right.
also it's a whole grain as well versus
Sure.
with the all-purpose flour, which is refined and bleached, but it's a whole grain. And along with it, I believe that it has some extra nutritional value as well.
Yeah, that's part of what I thought as why they probably use that as opposed to a different flour. But I decided to go with the recipe the way that somebody else wrote it out.
Okay.
A lot of times I'll see something and I'll change it, but I said I'm gonna stick with what's there. So we're going to do this kale salad. The kale salad is very easy, but we want to let it sit and marinate. So I'm just gonna drizzle it with olive oil. And I think you guys can tell I'm fairly tactile. I like to use my hands and stuff. You don't have to, you can definitely use tongs. I think in the equipment list I did say tongs, but I like to feel my food. So I'm just kind of massaging the oil through to make sure that it kind of coats every piece of this kale. And I used curly kale. And then I just chopped it. You can tear it. I just chopped it. I like knives, so I just chopped it. And then, can you guys see, like it's starting to get a little glistening?
Mhm.
And that was just 2 tablespoons of olive oil. Now, with the 2 tablespoons of olive oil, I'm going to also sprinkle, this is 1 tablespoon of nutritional yeast, some salt, pepper, and Italian seasoning. And then I have some garlic and red onion. I prefer red onion to other types of onions, but you can certainly use yellow or white, whatever your preference is. You can also add, this salad actually also calls for pepper, for bell pepper. But for the life of me, I'm sorry, y'all, I can't locate it. I know for sure I have it. I just can't find it. So I'm sorry. But it does definitely call for a bell pepper. So, which it was interesting to see that that was one of the
Superfood. Mhm.
that's it. Thank
For
you.
it, for the immune. Mhm.
Yes, thank you. So I just want to blend all of this stuff together, and then I'm going to top it with a little bit of avocado. I'm actually going to wait until the end to do my avocado until I get ready to eat it, because avocado likes to turn once it hits the air. It doesn't go bad. It just likes to turn like a banana. Okay, I'm going to put this to the side. You can definitely set it in the refrigerator if you like. I'm just going to sit it on the side. All right. And while our skillet is heating up for our sweet potatoes, we are going to get to work on our lentil fritters. So for our lentil fritters, it calls for a food processor. I'm going to use my blender. So for the last few days, guys, I haven't been feeling the greatest, so I apologize for not having anything that you would normally think I'd have. Do apologize, but we'll work through it. So what I have in this little container is some sage that I chopped up. Can you guys see okay? Yeah? Do I need to come closer at all?
No, you're good.
All right, perfect. I have some sage chopped up like 4 leaves. I have 2 cloves of garlic. I have some, again, with the red onion. And then also some lentil seeds that I soaked. And I use red lentils that I soaked overnight. And I didn't cook them, just soaked them. This was 1 cup. And I'm gonna pop these into the water and all. I'm gonna pop them into my blender and puree it. And then we'll fritter them.
There's a question in the chat box about the pancakes.
Yes.
The question is, if you are using boxed pancake, do you just add the sweet potato?
I would probably say yes, but I'm not sure that you're going to get the same nutritional value unless you find a box pancake that is made with either like a smelt flour or an oat flour, or even maybe a gluten-free flour might be more helpful. But I would imagine so. You would just add the sweet potato, and you may need to add just a little bit more liquid than the recipe calls for, just because you're adding an additional semi-dry ingredient. Okay, I want to mix this. So give me a second.
So there is a question about the recipes, like will the recipes be sent out? And the answer is yes. The recipes were sent out today, and it should have come into your reminder confirmation of today's session. There's something that says flip book, and if you click that on, it sends you to a link that has all the recipes. But I will send it out again just in case. And once again, let me say that there was a miscommunication on I think our original confirmation in Zoom about the time change this was going to be an evening session. And, but that was corrected going forward. And so if you were new to the group, you would not have gotten that the time had changed. It's from our existing participants did get the reminder that was sent out, and it was called a correction for the April series that it was going to be an evening. But now that has been corrected, okay? So we should all be on the same time zone.
So now we have our fritter batter. We're gonna let that sit for a minute. So we're gonna make our pancakes first. And it sounds like our oil is ready. And this is canola oil, but you can definitely use any frying oil that you prefer. Now I'm just going to ladle some out. And this is one of those, you can make your pancakes however, whatever size you prefer. So I'm just gonna use this, I believe it's a half cup ladle. And you certainly don't have to use as much oil. We like crispy pancakes in my house. And then I also added enough to repurpose this oil for the lentil fritters as well.
There's one technique that I use that I find helpful and help whether it's Johnny cakes or well, definitely with the pancakes, and even with my cookies. I went out and I bought some scoopers. They have scoopers that are 2 ounce, 4 ounce, you know, and so and they really help me to retain the shape of it, and so that my pancakes turn out to be all the same size. And I have better control over them. I have better control over the smaller ones, pancakes versus, I think they call them short stacks versus some of the standard size pancakes.
Oh, I don't know. There's a question in the chat about canola oil causing inflammation. That would be good for me to know.
Well, we've talked about oils in some of our previous classes, but I'm going to let Karen chime in first, and I can add to it.
Yes. I was saying that canola oil is not really one of the better options, but you have options like safflower oil and grapeseed oil and olive oil that are much better to choose from. So that those are definitely better heart healthy options and a much better choice than canola oil. You can go ahead, Dale.
Because I heard it wasn't okay to fry with.
You heard what?
I said I heard that olive oil was okay to saute with, but not to like do full frying with.
Yeah, no, definitely sauteing, and you're not using that much oil for pancakes. Are you frying the pancakes?
Well, no.
Yeah. Okay.
Right, at high temperature. Yes, and so this is based on my training, is that most oils, including the canola oil, when we're cooking it, you know, it breaks down into a lesser oil. There are some oils that are better in retaining their integrity with higher temperature. It's like the temperature in which you're cooking at. And then also to the canola oil is somewhat of a man-made oil. It's made from, you know, it's made from a natural product, but it's a highly processed. And anything that's highly processed is not best for us, although it has been marketed and it is considered to have a higher percentage of what is called mono unsaturated oil or fat in it, but it is not the best. It's not our number one choice for cooking. But there's a lot of marketing behind it that tells us that it is. I mean, I was on that bandwagon when it first came out too, because
And coconut oil is also a better option.
mhm, it has,
I'm sorry, Dale. Sorry.
no, right. Go ahead. It's because it can hold a higher, the integrity of the oil
Correct.
can hold a higher temperature.
Yeah.
So is the
Correct.
stuff I can't use.
Yeah.
All right. I'm gonna do my fritters.
Okay.
Like I said, I was doing. You definitely don't need this much oil to do pancakes. But like I said, I was using this oil for twofold. One of my pancakes broke. I'm gonna do my fritters. And now it is definitely better to use a scoop, but I'm just gonna scoop them with this spoon. Originally, when I was doing this class, I was going to grab my scoop from work, but I haven't been to work this week because I haven't been feeling the best. Because yeah, scoops are definitely a great tool to use, and they're so versatile. You can definitely use them for ice cream. I'm sorry, I said I like sweet. And anything else.
Yes. And it's good. Actually, it's good to use for portion control as
Yes,
well.
definitely.
Mhm.
It is definitely good for portion control. And then we'll just fry these a couple minutes on each side. And I'm not really big on frying food, but I know that when you are changing your lifestyle, if you are used to frying food, that's a really hard decision to say, I'm no longer gonna eat any more fried food and really stick with it.
Mhm. So there was a question about, can you use a griddle to make your pancakes?
Oh yeah, absolutely. You absolutely can use the griddle.
And then is the question, this is for you, Karen, how important it is to use organic products. And can you buy vegan pancakes mix at a health food store?
Yes, you can definitely buy. Can you hear me? You can definitely buy vegan pancake mix from a health food store. And organic foods are much better than regular produce just because of the way that they are grown and the careful consideration that they go through to make sure that it is grown from a non genetically modified seed. Well, they really are trying. Um, and that it doesn't go through genetically modified processes and that it's not stripped of its natural vitamins and mineral content as well. So, organic is always better if you can. It is expensive, but it's worth it for your health, because it can also help keep the integrity of the fruits and the vegetables and the grains for better health to keep disease away.
Okay.
Right.
And I would just add, if you have health challenges, and we know how food impacts our health, the better quality of food that you can provide for yourself, the the best it is, and the closest that we can get to how God intended it to be is better. It's better for us.
Absolutely.
Okay.
All right. Now, so you guys can see we have our pancakes, our fritters done. Now I'm just going to do our smoothie real quick. So you want to freeze at least your bananas, either your bananas or half your strawberries or something like that, just because that helps to avoid needing ice, and that helps the flavor be smoother. And then I'm adding orange juice, but you can certainly add coconut water, a non-dairy milk, a plain water, another kind of juice. I thought the orange juice might be good for me since, like I said, haven't been feeling the best. So I just think the vitamin C, as we talked about earlier, would be helpful for my immune system. And that was a cup of orange juice, a cup of strawberries, and I just sliced the stems off the strawberries, and then frozen banana. And if you want, you can add, a little more, something a little frozen to make it smoother, but I'm fine with mine being drinkable. And then that's it. I'm gonna plate everything, make it all nice and pretty for you guys.
Okay.
Show you my salad.
So while she's pulling everything together, do you want to review the recipes?
Yeah.
Okay. Okay. So these are our breakfast recipe review that Chef M is going to go through with us.
Yes. So for our sweet potato pancakes, we had our ground flax and water, which we use as our egg replacement. We added that to our wet ingredients, which included our sweet potato, but also included our oat milk in the case that I used, and then also the apple cider vinegar, the vanilla, and then just a little bit of oil. And that oil is used to hold it together. And then we also mixed together smelt flour for our dry ingredients. We had smelt flour, some brown sugar is what I use, but you can certainly use another type of sugar, baking powder, salt, a little bit of cinnamon, a little bit of nutmeg. You want some kind of flavor in it to go along. And then we just, like I said, combined our wet ingredients to our dry ingredients. Let that sit for just a minute because you want all of your ingredients to come together and absorb well. So that's why we let those sit for just a little bit. And then we fry those in a bit more oil than you really needed, but you definitely just want to fry it for like 3 to 4 minutes each side to make sure that it is completely done all the way through. Okay, any questions? All right, and then for our lentil fritters. So the lentil fritters, the key part of the lentil fritters is that we want to make sure that we soak those overnight. We want the lentil to absorb as much water as it possibly can so that they fluff up and are nice and full. And then we just combine that with I prefer red onion. So I use half of a red onion, 4 sage leaves, and I just chop those up before I putting them into the blender or food processor, along with the bell pepper. Well, I was missing the bell pepper, salt, red pepper, Italian seasoning, and just a little bit of the olive oil we use for cooking. And that was we just put that all together and then just scooped it out. You can definitely use like an actual scoop to make things just a little bit easier. But we just scoop those out and fry them 2 to 3 minutes on each side. And then we were done. You take those out, let them drain off, and you're ready to.
Chef M, I was very curious. How would that hold up? This particular recipe hold up if we bake the lentils?
I think you might want to add. A little bit of like a flour or something to help hold it together.
Okay.
But I think it would be okay.
Okay.
I think you might want something to absorb some of the water to help hold the lentil balls together.
Okay.
And the flour, any kind of flour will work well for that here.
Maybe some flaxseed meal?
Yeah, maybe, yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, because it would absorb that water. And then, oh, for our kale salad, the kale salad was like a really simple salad. Instead of making a vinaigrette, we doused it with a little bit of oil, which I would imagine that you actually could substitute the oil for something else. But as I said, I did the recipes as they were given. We doused them with a little bit of oil just to coat them, to help give it a little bit of flavor and let the other flavors that we were going to add to them, the garlic, the onion, bell pepper, to give that something to hold on to, especially with the Italian seasoning, the soy sauce, and the nutritional yeast add together. The nutritional yeast gives it a little bit of a crunch too. And then that we just let everything marinate and set on the side for about 30 minutes before we were ready to eat it. You can definitely put that inside of the refrigerator and just let it sit. Give all of those flavors a chance to pull together. And then
Can you make those lentils the night before or the day before and then fry
yeah,
them or cook them the next day?
yeah, absolutely.
And does pancake batter sit well in the refrigerator overnight?
Yeah, you can definitely do pancake batter overnight. You can pre-make all of this. You can make the pancakes and freeze them, and then if you want, you could pop them in the microwave. I'm more of an oven girl myself, but you could pop them in the microwave to have like a grab and go breakfast. You definitely do not have to make them that same day. The only thing is if you are, and especially if you're going to put them on a griddle, because then you don't have to worry about that oil absorbing in and them getting soggy, as oil tends to, when you have that oil sitting in something for a day or so, it gets soggy. But if you're doing that on the griddle, you don't have to worry about that.
Is this a versatile recipe where you can put this on a waffle iron?
The waffle iron you would need to, it's something you do different for waffles. I'm thinking you can, but you definitely can make a pancake mix into a waffle mix. I'm gonna have to look because the way I know is not vegan based, but it's definitely doable. But I'll look and I'll get that information to Dale to send out to you guys.
Okay. And then our bliss smoothie.
Yeah, our bliss smoothie. Just something real simple, easy, banana, strawberry, juice, or water, because you can definitely use either one. And then you have all of those wonderful antioxidants in the strawberries. You have the potassium in the bananas. And then if you use orange juice, like I did, you have that extra boost of vitamin C. Or if you decide to use water, then you have that extra hydration that we all need anyway. One thing though I will say is that the orange juice I do know raises the sugar content. So you just have to be mindful of what you are putting together in terms of like juice and things like that, and be aware of what issues you have going on with your body and how your body is going to process the things that you're ingesting.
Okay. Any questions? Are you ready for us to view the plating?
I think so.
Okay, I just have to
hear you guys' space.
And okay,
okay,
does everyone see her on the large screen?
I see you.
On the large screen? Okay, I see some hands shaking, yes. All righty. That's, and I want to say too that there is a misnotion about, we don't have options for vegetables to eat in the morning. And we do. That's just from some old training. If we are to get those 9 to 7 fruits and vegetables in our diet every day, that you will have to eat at least one vegetable during, in the morning session. And to me, the best one is with greens, starting your day out with greens. You just feel so energized. That looks absolutely delicious.
Thank you.
Okay. All righty.
I hope you guys enjoyed my demonstration. It's something different.
Lovely.
Okay, and Chef Emma is going to take a picture for us, and then I'm going to add it to our slides to put it in. So the slides that you receive. Okay. All right. Thank you.
You're welcome. Thank you, guys.
Okay, so now we're going to continue our discussion, our mealtime discussion, and that's the conversation that we have after we have prepared a meal in our live in-person cooking class. That's what we do. After the meal is prepared, we sit down around the table as we experience the food, and we continue our conversation about our health and nutrition topic. So Karen?
All righty, thank you. So we will continue with the immune boosting foods, and the number six food is spinach. And spinach is made our list not just because it's rich in vitamin C, but it's also packed with numerous antioxidants and beta carotene, which may both increase the infection fighting ability of our immune systems. Similar to broccoli, spinach is the healthiest when it's cooked as little as possible, so steaming it or even eating it raw. And I like to replace spinach in salads for lettuce instead of lettuce, spinach. That's wonderful. And this retains its nutrients. However, light cooking makes it easier to absorb the vitamin A and allows other nutrients to be released from the oxalic acid, which is also an anti nutrient. Number seven, yogurt. So we discussed a little yogurt today in the recipes. Um, look for yogurts that have the phrase live and active cultures printed on the label, like Greek yogurt. These cultures may stimulate your immune system to help fight diseases. And then try to get plain yogurts rather than the kind that are flavored or sweetened with and loaded with sugar. And you can sweeten your plain yogurt yourself with healthy fruits or drizzle a little honey instead. Yogurt can also be a great source of vitamin D, so try to select the brands fortified with this vitamin. And vitamin D helps regulate the immune system and is thought to boost our body's natural defense against diseases. We can get vitamin D also from the sunlight, but that's just not enough. So we want to try to get it from other food sources as well. Next slide.
Okay, I do want to add too, is that there are some yogurt alternatives as well that also have the live and active cultures that are made with it, that is composed with it. And so you can still have a plant-based, dairy-free alternative as a topping of Karen, what do they call it? It skips my mind. They call them, well, just non-dairy yogurt. And I
I
just want
use
to flag that out.
Okay, I use a coconut milk based yogurt, and it's delicious. It's from Trader Joe's. All right, number eight is almonds. When it comes to preventing and fighting off colds, vitamin tends to take a back seat to vitamin C. However, this powerful antioxidant is the key to a healthy immune system. It's a fat soluble vitamin, which means it requires the presence of fat to be absorbed properly versus the water soluble vitamin that we talked about earlier, like vitamin C, which flushes through your system every day. So, nuts such as almonds are packed with the vitamin and also have healthy fats. These are good fats. Adults need only about 15 milligrams of vitamin E each day, which is about a half a cup of serving of almonds, which is also about 46 whole shelled almonds. And they provide about 100% of the daily recommended amount of vitamin E. And you want to make sure that your nuts are not full of salt and sugar and roasted. Number nine is sunflower seeds. Sunflower seeds are full of nutrients, including phosphorus, magnesium, and vitamins B6 and E. So, along with almonds, they are also high in vitamin E. Vitamin E is important in regulating and maintaining immune system function. Other foods which have high amounts of vitamin E include avocados and deep, dark leafy vegetables, greens that we just discussed with the salad. So, sunflower seeds are also incredibly high in selenium. Just 1 ounce contains nearly half the selenium that the average adult needs daily. And again, we want to make sure that they're not roasted and full of salt. And the last boosting immune system food is number 10, turmeric. You may also know turmeric as a key ingredient in many curries, like curry dishes. This bright yellow bitter spice has also been known for years as an anti inflammatory in treating both osteoporosis and rheumatoid arthritis. Research shows that high concentrations of the curcumin, which gives turmeric its distinctive color, can help decrease exercise induced muscle damage and has the promise and considered an immune booster with antiviral properties. It's very powerful and it's also delicious in certain dishes.
And so now we're in our final segment about our closing remarks and final thoughts. We want to thank you for joining Stonebridge Healthy Community Outreach Initiative and Advocates for Community Wellness. You can reach out to the prospective organizations about upcoming events. Both organizations will have upcoming events. And we want to thank Chef M, the owner and founder of Cooking Canvas. She provided and sponsored all the ingredients today for the cooking class. And this is her contact information. You can take a screenshot of it, but it will be in the presentation that is sent to you. Also, Advocates for Community Wellness is a registered Illinois Department of Public Health COVID prevention ambassador. Our goal is just to encourage and engage people about across the state in an ongoing, intentional way about COVID-19, the outreach as well as the prevention efforts. And so today's message is Vax Up Illinois. When a vaccine is available for you, take your shot. The quickest way for life to return to normal is for most people to get vaccinated. And we do know with the new information about the Johnson & Johnson have come out, some people still may have reservation, but they like to always add that's 1 in a million. They have given 6 million shots and 6 people have had extreme adversary effect from it. So it's just one, it's not that it's just, because I don't want to be the one. I don't want my mother to be the one, but it's 1 in a million. But you have to do an assessment of your own health. And also to some people just go out and take the vaccination. Have a discussion with your doctor. I know when we took my mother as well as my mother-in-law. My mother is 86. My mother-in-law is 91. She had a conversation because she has some reservation and asked, would it be helpful for her? And he said, absolutely yes. But it's based on her health condition. And so just have that conversation. But we're still in a pandemic. Wear a mask, wash your hands often, watch the 6 feet distance to avoid, and avoid large gatherings. That's our takeaway message. And once again, if you want information, up-to-date information about the coronavirus, go to coronavirus.illinois.gov, or you can call 833, or I always like to call 311. They usually give me my information quickly in what I need to know. So you will be receiving a health and diet survey from Advocates for Community Wellness within the next couple of days. And we would like for you to fill it out. It's just, we want to get some information about our network, our community that we're building, and it'll be sent out to everyone who has attended our Eat Well Cooking Club over the last 4 months. Although we had a small gathering today, I think at my last count, it was 20 people who had registered for the evening. And generally it builds. And we would like for you, if you find value and it was helpful, bring one other person with you, share it with one other person to join us next week. Okay. And that brings me to, I like to personally invite you to a special conversation on honoring your spiritual and emotional journey through cancer. Time and cancer favors no one. And many of the chronic diseases as well. And so I was asked to provide a segment on the spiritual wellness about cancer. I am a survivor, overcomer myself, and so is my mom as well. But I have family members that had succumbed to it. But the one thing that I know in my heart that got me through, it was my spiritual connections and belief that God was walking through me, and that I grabbed on to the promises of God about restoring health.
Amen.
Okay, so we want you to continue the journey with us. Once again, it's on Wednesday from 6 p.m. to 7:30. Invite a friend to our next session. Our next session is April 21st, and we're going to have lunch with Chef M. And the work that we do, we bring it free to you, but there is a cost. It costs us behind the scenes in putting this form together. And so we're always asking for both Stonebridge and Advocates for Community Wellness. We're 501c3. The work that we do is supported through the donations that we receive. And we would like for you, if you find value, is to give a donation of any amount. If it's for advocates, we're at a4cw.org/donate. If you're a guest of Stonebridge, it's stonebridgehealthycommunity.org/support-us. Okay. And that leads us to thanking you for joining us today. And we actually we ended on time. My time is up, and I thank you for yours.